Therefore, I am looking for an electrician who's inspired by what we do.
I would like a free pair of underwear or two.
Yeah.
Having a dance party in my room every morning. It's bloody amazing. It's just like the sweat's real. I'm like ecstatic.
Do you want to just get all your out now?
Nah, I'm good.
I don't know if there's a reservoir there. I think I don't think there's like a little cache.
She's not saving them up.
That she's like trying to get rid of.
So bad.
I don't even know. What am I giving up next week?
My name's Elisha. I'm the founder of Nisa. Nisa is a lingerie label that employs women from refugee backgrounds, and all of the garments we make right here in Wellington using organic cotton.
From Little Yellow Bird, no less.
Indeed.
Ah, small world.
I'm wearing Little Yellow Bird too, by the way. Yeah, I'm a big supporter of theirs. I'm Christine Langdon. I'm the co-founder and the Chief of Good for the Good Registry. The Good Registry is a social giving platform which enables anyone from small kids to corporates to use money that they would have spent on unwanted or unnecessary gifts to make donations to good causes instead. And we currently give people two ways to do that. They can create a registry for a special event like a birthday or a wedding and choose a charity and ask their friends and family to give on their page, or they can buy good gift cards to give to other people, and then the recipient can come to the Good Registry and choose which charity they want the money on the gift card to go to.
And I'm Jen, or most people know me as Gen Y, as I'm a millennial member of Generation Y, and my name Jennifer Young boils down to Gen Y. I'm the founder of Gen Y Insights, which provides coaching, mindfulness and leadership development consultancy services, among other things.
I'm really lucky to be sitting with Elisha Watson of Nisa Women, as used to be Nisa Clothing, but now just 100% Nisa Women.
Oh, I guess the brand is Nisa, but we, unfortunately, that's already taken on Instagram and is too short for Facebook. So
I like it.
Yeah.
I think it's a great
yeah,
shift.
it's a goodie.
Yeah.
Men need not apply.
That, to be honest, there's going to be human rights issues with that one. So we're an inclusive workplace.
That's where your law degree is going to come in handy.
Totally. We actually got a complaint because we employ refugees.
Wait, how did you get a complaint from that?
Someone complained to the Wellington City Council, who gave us some seed funding, that we employ refugees and thus are discriminating against Kiwis.
Wait,
and yeah.
What about Pomegranate Kitchen then? Because they also employ refugees.
Anyway, this is the issues we face when you try and do something like...
I'm just lost for words.
Yeah.
It's like people will complain about anything.
Not speaking personally here, but speaking generally, there's nothing wrong with men wearing women's underwear, is there?
Oh, we've actually had a few men customers buying for themselves, I have to say.
What have they bought?
They just said, I love what you do. Want to support it? I'll give it a try.
Good on them.
Yeah, totally.
Are you going to start a men's range?
Oh, that's a tricky one. David's just losing his shit in the corner. I think I need to get him a pair of Nisa underwear.
I'm also really lucky to be joined by Christine Langdon, CEO of the Good Registry, although we are calling her the Bad Registry today. How are you doing?
Very, very bad.
Do you ever break the speed limit? Are you
I
that
do.
good? Oh, okay, so two bad things this year.
I'm bad.
Mm-hmm. I'm not a good driver.
Oh, I'm actually okay.
That is the voice of Jennifer Young of Gen Y Insights, as we're calling Gen Y Ignorance this afternoon. How are you doing?
I don't know.
Really?
See what I did there?
Insightful or ignorant? You decide.
Great to be here.
You're on a cleanse this week. Tell us about how that's going.
Oh, jeepers. I'm not going to tell you about my bowel movements because I think that that'd get really shitty. Oh, see what I did there? So it's a full body cleanse. It's all juice. There involves some like bentonite clay and like really unfortunate drinking patterns. Not alcohol, sadly, because everyone else here is drinking gin and tonics and I'm here on my coconut water.
It was you that suggested them.
I know, self-inflicted. So the cleanse is going really interestingly, as in like yesterday I had like crazy bad mood swings and almost like snapped at my flatmate when she was laughing at how many juices I was carrying into the dojo. Yeah, but today it's a lot better. And I'm enjoying the sunshine.
That's really good to hear.
Oh, cheers.
This is a reprise of Talks with Innovators, Creatives and Enterprises. We're just doing a Summer Holidays 2018 edition with three of my favourite people ever. Three fantastic entrepreneurs who today we're going to peel back the layers slightly, have a little bit of a fail club, celebrate some successes and hopefully get out of here unscathed. How's that sound?
Sounds great.
Sounds
Thriller.
great. I'm still caught up on the fact that you asked the question about male underwear and then you said not from experience, so caught up on that.
Female underwear.
Yeah.
Males wearing female
Yeah.
underwear.
Yeah.
Yeah, just want to clarify that.
Okay, good.
Generally do wear male underwear.
Generally.
Elisha, your year. You've celebrated a year of NISA Women and you're still alive. You are paying yourself
Vaguely, nominally.
$5 a minute, which is incredible. I think it's just amazing.
$5 an hour.
Yeah, I know.
Oh dear, it's all out now. Yeah.
Yeah.
I now have a staff of 5, maybe 6 soon. And so I think when you just grow so quickly, you just basically do anything you can to make it work, which in this case includes paying myself $5 an hour.
Yay. Do you look back at when you were a lawyer, as you still are, of course, but not practicing, and kind of go, oh, money, no money, some money? Do you sort
I'm
of...
so fortunate. Like one thing I'm passionate about is having honest conversations about the privilege that's involved in starting a business, because I really rely financially on my parents, emotionally and kind of financially on my boyfriend. There are so many people that are pitching in to keep me running so that I can run this business, and it's only because they have stuff to give. My parents are retired. My boyfriend's amazing, and I know a lot of people wouldn't have this huge support network around them to enable them to make sacrifices to do something really different. And so I just want to acknowledge that, because whenever people talk to entrepreneurs, it's very much like this hero narrative, which I think is absolutely divorced from, well, at least my reality.
So basically just over a year of writing massive IOUs. Is that kind of how it is?
Yeah, I think it's lucky because your goal is to create something bigger than yourself. So it can never just be based on like a series of personal favors, which it very much is in the beginning. But as it grows, people believe more and more in what you're trying to achieve and identify with that. And, the beautiful thing is when it becomes separate from you.
Yet? Soon?
Yet? Soon?
Separated from you? Like, the success of the business from where you're at? Like a year in? Is this where you expect it to be?
Hard to answer because I'm not a planner. I had no plan. It's just like keep on going until you can't anymore. And I guess that served me well up until now, because we're having some real growing pains. Like you basically, as you grow, you get more and more cash flow issues because the amount of orders that the kind of supplies that you need to fulfill orders that you can sell, you have to have that money, like, let's say half a year before you actually sell it. And so if your orders suddenly increase by 2, you actually have to have 2 times the reserve of cash 6 months in advance to do anything about that. So it's also a lot of like hard knocks, financial learnings, and just kind of working it out as I go.
And I've got Christine and Jen sitting here going, haha, you sucker, you did a product. We've got services.
Oh, yeah. Like, I look at people that do services and I'm like, oh, my God. Like, oh, you like.
No, it hasn't been that much easier.
It's not that easy. It's really not. Yeah.
Oh.
We're actually nodding in agreement to everything that you're saying.
Yeah.
And Christine, like, you also celebrated a year of the Good or Bad Registry, as you prefer, back in November. How's it been going for you?
similarly, it's been a hard year with lots of knocks and challenges, and a lot of time wondering whether I've set off on something that is bigger than I can manage. And then,
amen to that.
Yeah.
Fully, 100%.
This week I'm just going, whoa, it's all coming together.
Is that your version of the F word?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Did you notice that she had difficulty saying it? It's okay, I get it.
I can do it. I can.
Go on.
Yeah. So we.
No, go on, do it.
It all gets beeped out, eh?
Possibly not. We'll see.
I can cuss. I can cuss pretty well. I used to be a journalist. It comes with the territory.
Totally. And how about you, Jen? Year into your little massive, huge, fantastic entrepreneurial gig. How's it going for you?
Ooh, it's been a massive year. I think I've soon to head on 14 months. I started Genway Insights initially as a blog on a leadership development personal challenge that I was doing around facing fear and wanting to do lots of things that I wasn't doing at that point in time and feeling stuck. And then about 6 months after that, when I had returned from traveling and I basically had no money, I was like, cool, I'm going to go do it, which was not the best financial move. So funny that.
I don't think any of us would say the last year has been the best financial move.
No, if you want to be rich, be an employee. That's all I can say.
100%.
Who has? I'm impressed that you've paid yourself $5 an hour. That's better than I'm doing. How are you doing, Jen?
Oh gosh, I don't even know. I think the same thing with Elisha. Like I liked to have thought that I was a planner, but I'm really not.
Yeah.
Like I try to do things consistently, and then I get excited by something else or distracted by something else, and I keep hearing from mentors, you really need to like pull down your services and really like niche more. And I'm just like, I love what I'm doing, like the mindfulness and the coaching and leadership development. And it's just like, there's such a hero thing around it where people are like, oh my gosh, I love what you're doing. And it's like, do you actually know? And they're like, no, but it's cool what you do. So it's been a massive year of learning. Yeah.
Second that.
Yeah. I think for all of us.
Oh, totally. So we've got like this figurative pot into which we're going to throw some of our respective highlights of the year. Elisha, by no means have to go first. Feel free to just chuck in and diss each other going, my success is way bigger than your success. Or whichever kind of street dissing you prefer. What particular
Sweet
highlights?
cheeks is my favourite. That'll be my take on Jen.
Sweet cheeks.
I don't believe it, sweet cheeks.
So I'm gonna be sitting at home with my partner, and she's like, "How'd it go today?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I got to sit in a sound booth with 3 amazing women talking dirty to each other."
Totally.
She'd be like, that's a normal day in the life of David.
Yeah, totally.
Usually in my dreams, but no, this is definitely. I'm going to get some photographic proof.
Oh,
We
God.
can do that.
Okay, highlights. How's it been for you?
Highlights. Oh, I have an atrocious memory, which is one of my key characteristics of success. So I cannot literally remember what I did yesterday, let alone like a week ago. And that means that I forget slight very quickly and forget good things as well.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I just have I look back and I'm like, what did happen? I think we started off with a crowdfunding campaign that went amazingly. The pop-up shop that we had halfway through the year where we sold about 20 grand worth of stock in a week, that was like a watershed moment because I wasn't really sure if it could work because we're not reliant on grants. Like everything, what we do, what NISA does, only works if people actually buy what we're making.
You mean like a business?
Like a business,
thing.
just like that. But I guess the difference is that we don't do manufacturing for anyone else. So we're like a fully vertically integrated unit where we market all of our underwear and manufacture it ourselves. So that makes us quite vulnerable. So if sales dive in a month, you're not like, well, I've got these other contracts coming in. Like the business lives and dies with the NISA brand, whereas most other manufacturers don't work like that. So yeah, the pop-up was amazing. And then coming into Christmas, it's another like total amazing opportunity for us, because I'm actually just about to go and make some, after this, go and do some Facebook advertising for Christmas. But we've basically done no promotion, and it's been going off. Like, we're running out of stuff left, right, and centre. And like, I wish, and when you're in the business world, you're not like, oh, look at all this money I can make. But you basically think, look at all of those opportunities I have to bridge hard times, because they're coming up. So that January is going to be a slow sales month. There are going to be issues in the future. And so it's about having, when things go well, it just gives you breathing room, because it allows you to build up a buffer. I think the most terrifying times are when you've eaten through that buffer and there's no room for anything to go wrong, and that's what brings businesses down ultimately. But so it's amazing for us to be able to just kind of, the Christmas season has been amazing for us.
But don't stop ordering, okay?
Such a little plug, I love it.
Well, I'll just translate what Elisha said. It's been quite good, but it could be better. Is that about right?
Doesn't still buy the underwear.
We'll come for the Boxing Day sales.
And it doesn't matter if you're male or female. Hey, David.
That's true.
Yeah, him.
No, it's funny. Like, also
some lovely bralettes.
Yeah.
Really. Support.
For those pecs.
I think it's more for nipple coverage for you, David. I mean, I've seen them a few times around Biz Dojo, and they've been offensive, frankly.
David's face right now looks so shocked.
This, to be honest, is about how I thought it was going to go, so that's fine. Christine, the highlights of your year, how's it gone for you?
One of the really interesting things for this year is it's been often the things that have felt the hardest that have then turned into the things that have felt the most rewarding. So when you were talking about your Pledge Me campaign, we also ran a successful Pledge Me campaign, but my goodness, it was one of the hardest things I've ever done in my life, and then got to the other end of it and went, I'm so glad that was really hard, because it made us work harder, and it gave us more profile, and it gave us more people in our network. So I loved things like our Pledge Me campaign for that.
It's funny how I quickly realised that where you put in a lot of effort, you got a lot of payout, and vice versa. Things that, it's just almost like cause and effect. When things are really hard, you get the most out of them, but that doesn't really make you feel much better at the time.
When you're having sleepless nights.
Yeah,
so there's been a lot of sleepless nights and a lot of long days and a lot of worry, and then that makes the good stuff so good.
Totally.
So good. So through all of the days of going, is this really working? Over the last few weeks, it's worked.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh,
Christine, tell you a bit about your Christmas sales.
I'm waiting for Deloitte, who give us generous pro bono financial support, to come back to me with the final figures at the moment, but I'm sure that in the last year we've crossed the $100,000 donation threshold.
All right.
Awesome.
And if we weren't there before today, we will absolutely be there today, because today alone we've taken $25,000 worth of donations. So those donations are corporates that are buying good gift cards to give to their customers or to their staff, and those good gift cards are basically a ticket to tell us which charity they want the donation to go to. So that's been incredible. I assume we must be now at about $120,000 of donations in the last year. But for me, what's so special is the reason I created or came up with the idea for the Good Registry, I didn't create it on my own. I created it with two amazing co-founders, and that's a highlight of the year as well. It's been such a privilege to work with them. But the idea for me came from wanting to ignite more joy in my life and other people's lives, and the insight that I had that we get joy from generosity and connection. And that was what I wanted to give people with the Good Registry, not just the money to the charities. And also I wanted to reduce waste. I get upset by waste. So those donations represent thousands of people that have had the chance to give to charities that they care about that wouldn't have had that opportunity before. And we saw some quotes this week from all of the staff at the Cooperative Bank who got given good gift cards, and they made me so emotional because those comments were so emotional, because people were so happy that they had been given the opportunity to support causes that were close to their hearts instead of being given a crappy Christmas mug or a beach towel. So that makes me happy. And then also, that's thousands of gifts that people were never going to use that weren't given. So that's good.
That's pretty damn good, I'd say. Yeah. Happy days.
Yeah. And, we're still not financially sustainable. That is money that goes to the charities. Our financial model is taking a small clip of that on the way. We've got big technology costs. We need to figure out how to make the website function better to improve the customer experience and have people keep coming back. And we need to figure out how to do that with the really limited funds that we've got. So still big stuff to solve next year, but we've shown that we can do the good that we set out to do.
Yay, it works.
Yay! Yeah, we took a big punt, and the big punt's been worth it.
Superb. I think a big part of every conversation I've had with you in the last year, informally, has been about technology. Yeah.
We built what we thought was a great bespoke website to get us started, then realised that, and everyone told us this, don't spend too much on your website to start with, it'll turn out to be completely wrong. And it turned out to not be completely wrong, but definitely not be completely right. So we made a cheap, quick solution to add on the good gift cards. So now we have a website that looks integrated, but in the back end it really isn't, and it still requires me to do a heck of a lot of stuff manually. And if you talk about failures of the year, I recently did a piece of work to try and solve some of the gift card experience issues, and it failed. So it's and I seriously go, okay, that's $5,000 as a brilliant learning. I've learnt so much from doing that piece of work and learning that that the way I went about it didn't work.
Is that about a term at university? About $5,000? Is that?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And it's funny as well because both Elisha and I studied law and I haven't used it at all, so definitely wasted way more than $5,000.
Christine, you're ahead.
Yeah, ahead. And actually,
right.
I look at all of the time and all of the money that I have put in this year as an MBA.
Same.
It's really hard to do anything really well that's bespoke in the tech scene without a lot of money. I think you're best working out the resources that you can use that are already available on a subscription basis and tweaking them to suit your needs than actually starting from the ground up, because you need hundreds of thousands of dollars to do that right, and you just end up with these huge headaches.
So it's been really interesting listening to both Elisha and Christine talk about the financial part of the journey of running a business, and that's also been a challenge for me. But I'd say that's also been a real success for me, is that for the last year I've been able to run Genway Insights almost entirely soles and do all the social media, all the different parts of it. It's only been the last month where things were a little bit more slow that I've had to ask for a bit of a loan, but I'm really proud of that. I'd say some of the greatest successes over the last year have been the kind of community that's been starting to form, and the way that people have been reacting around the content or the kinds of talks that I've been giving, and the people that come up after I've been speaking at a conference or some kind of event, and they've not only listened but they've been at something else and they've integrated some of the things I've been talking about. So I think it's really humbling, and I was really reflecting on it earlier that I'm super aware of the privileged position that I am in as a young female leader and businesswoman now, that I'm in the public eye, and there's a lot of work in that, and the stuff around the hero narrative is super true. I think it's knowing that it's a privilege and that people listen and act on that, and I really take that seriously. So I'd say that's been, big learning and success this year.
Just a quick sort of verbal straw poll. Who thinks they're ahead or behind on the owing massive IOUs? Just sort of quick tally.
IOUs left, right.
I've only got a
IOUs
short one.
are for people's generosity and support rather than money. My co-founders put money in knowing that they may well never get it back and that they would be happy once they saw that money in the hands of charities, and we're there now. But all of the incredible generosity that people have shown with their time and support over the last year, that's where my IOUs are. And I'm being really conscious at the moment about when people ask if they can meet me for a coffee for me to help them with something, never being too busy for that because I know I owe it and I need to pay it forward.
And a big shout out also is owed to Shannon, who does all of our marketing. I have to say she's been with me for day one. From day one, and it's just been out of the goodness of her own heart, and she's been with me until 1 a.m. in the morning. She's been setting up with me, she's been running around with me. She's a huge emotional support to me, and I think that's actually someone can she's got amazing technical skills, but I think it's more someone who's with you on the journey, because it can be very, very lonely. So I think the people who are there with you rather than just watching you from the outside, that's I want to do a big shout out to that. People who are like mucking in,
Can I please list some of mine? I'll try and do it without making it really boring to people. But I just think it's actually so important to show how many people are willing to get in and give their time and their skills for free. So the Biz Dojo gives me free desk space here, which is so incredibly invaluable in terms of the people that I've met and the support that I've had when I've most needed it. A couple of weeks ago, on a Friday night, I went in to try and solve a problem with printing good gift cards, and Jen was in the office, and Kevin, who is a software developer here, was in the office, and Kevin ended up being in the office with me until 1:30 in the morning, solving that problem and getting those gift cards.
He's amazing.
A shout out to Kevin.
Shout out to Kevin.
I hope he's never going to listen to this, but I hope he will.
Yeah. Shout out to Kevin Sator. He's an incredible man.
Yeah.
I'm just watching him wiggling his toes, sitting on a large stool over there.
So glad you said toes.
And then I want to go. Deloitte are giving me pro bono support. Duncan Cotterill are giving me pro bono support. We only have the good gift cards because of a guy called Owen Evans who helped me figure out a way to test whether those would sell in the market and do it cheaply without building a whole new website. We recently got donated money to run a Christmas advertising campaign just to see what we could do with that money, and I put a post on LinkedIn saying just been given this money but don't have the expertise to spend it, and asked if anyone would donate their time, and received so many replies. And we've had a company called the Digital Cafe donate their time this week to come up with an incredible little campaign for us. So there's so much support and generosity
It's like a
out there,
a
and we could fill the
village-raised
show.
child. Yeah.
We might as well rock into if you had any big asks going forwards, like do you have a wish list of things that you'd really love either help with or resource, or just kind of like more customers, Elisha?
Electricians. I want electricians.
Electricians.
Yeah.
Electricians wearing your underwear, or
No, just any kind of electricians. I can't be picky at this
A
point.
new campaign.
No, we're moving into a new space, and basically we're getting the basics done for what we need for it. But like literally half of the space will be unlit because we can't afford to like pay an electrician to suss the rest. And it's one of those things with, like, I guess I'm used to working in a creative industry, which means that people, are generally happy to like get involved and not charge you hundreds of dollars, like a lot of money, and just want to help. Whereas like you come against these hard costs, like, you know what I mean? You just have to pay them. And therefore I am looking for an electrician who's inspired by what we do.
I would like a free pair of underwear or two.
I don't know how lucky I will be, but
can you willing to do like a contra on women's underwear? Or?
This is actually
How
leads
are
me
you with
into
electrics,
a very funny story. We had a photo shoot on a classic yacht
I saw that on social media. It looked amazing.
Yes. It's actually so it's got like heritage status, which means that it can't be there's a huge bond on the boat, and if it's taken outside of New Zealand waters, the owner loses like a lot of money. It's this beautiful old, I guess, like, I don't even know what wood it is, but it's just the most beautiful thing. And I, used my contacts to find contacts who knew someone with a beautiful boat. I got there in the end and I was like, could you take us out for a day? Because I don't know how to sail, let alone this like huge yacht. And then this lovely man was just said, no worries. I have my own business. I can just scamper away at any time. I'll take you out for a sail. And he just, he arrived early. He set up the boat for us. And I'm like, I can't pay you. And I was like, I can give you some underwear vouchers. And he was like, that sounds great. Because obviously you can just give them to his wife or like, family members. And I was like, this is just crazy. Like who else, getting this beautiful classic yacht, like an amazing sailor to sail the boat. And then
people want to help good causes. It makes everyone feel good.
Yeah. When I think about the amount of support we've had in financial terms, so if we were like a business that had no social aspect to what we do, and I think it saved us like tens of thousands of dollars in the last year, and it's not because we're like frittering away that money elsewhere. It's because we don't have that money.
$5 an hour. Yeah. Just saying.
And so it's allowed us to spread our wings and grow in a way that never would have been possible without people believing in what we do. And so that just wows me. But saying that, my dream is to one day be in a position where I just like look on Google and hire the first person that pops up. That's the dream. Like being like, I have this problem, someone else fix it, and I'll pay them to do it. That is when that day comes, I will know that the whole business has made it, because you no longer have to really say, we need help, can you help us do this?
And I think people are going to expect us to stand on our own 2 feet, like you say, in a couple of years, but also to keep demonstrating that it's worth them continuing to support in the meantime. Show them why.
How about your asks, Christine?
It's going to just keep coming back to technology. The marketing support that we're being given this Christmas is amazing, and I'm so grateful for it. The thing that we need to keep moving us forward is a better functioning website that gives an awesome user experience, gives people prompts and reasons to come back, makes it really easy in an automated way to buy lots of gift cards at once and either print them on the spot and send them to people immediately from the website. So someone who would like to either redevelop our gift card functionality or ideally rebuild the whole website.
Now, I'm going to ask you this twice actually, Jen. If you have any asks about how you'd like men to approach you in the streets, we'll start with that one.
Just keep doing it.
Keep doing it. It's great fun.
Okay.
Do they have to have a dog?
Oh my God. Okay. If they have a dog, I mean...
Game changer.
It's a game changer. Yeah.
Then the second question. If you had any asks, Jen, that you're hoping for next year for business?
In terms of business next year, I am just so grateful for everyone's support so far, and especially the Biz Dojo and all the mentors and people that have come up to me and said, you don't know how to sell, let's help you do that, and design, and that's been amazing. I think I'm here to help people. I'm here to be of service, whether it's with the coaching, the mindfulness leadership development. So if people have different ideas about how to talk about it, how to open up different conversations or different opportunities to do the kind of work, I mean, I'm totally open to that.
Wonderful. So we're looking at a couple of figurative bowls of successes, some asks. let's just rock around to the fails. And Christine, you mentioned about donating $5,000 to one fail earlier. So well done.
Donating is a very generous word.
Investing in my education.
Anything maybe embarrassing or silly or random that you would have maybe done differently apart from the tech?
I spilt an hors d'oeuvre down the front of my top at a Christmas party last week.
On the anniversary of my 1 year in business, I got pooped on by a seagull. And then I had like meetings in the afternoon and was giving a talk that evening. So that was great to go on with like poo on my dress.
Great that we have such big fails.
Oh, there are so many though, but they just become part of the tapestry of what you do.
And part of the success. I look at every fail and go, oh, that's why that happened, because something better is going to happen because of it.
There are some like objective fails. Like we had all like hundreds of beautiful reviews on our website of our product, which are like gold, and we deleted them all. And no way to retrieve them. Whew.
So that could be part of your ask, is if people have left a review before, maybe go and check if
very
it's still
true.
there.
That's
Leave the
very true.
reviews.
And then, there have just been so many along the way. But you just recover and go on, you know?
I really agree with that. I think like if with failures or any failures that there have been this year, I think I've more looked at it as like learnings, or otherwise I'd be like, no, and like crying on the ground. Whereas like it's like, okay, so like how can I move forward from this? What is it that I'm learning? What is this supposed to teach me? And that's really helped me to keep going. Especially I think it was like August or something, like it was crazy quiet. It was like I'd put forward 4 different proposals. They all got said no to. I was relying on at least 1 or 2 of those to come on over the line, and it was really stressful financially, and even the fact that I was feeling like really a lot of stress, like I struggle with that because some of my work is around stress reduction and mindfulness, and then people would see me stressing out and be like, well, that's ironic, isn't it? So it's even coming around to just showing myself a lot more compassion than I have earlier in the year, and everything's a learning.
Yeah, I think compassion to yourselves is a big one, because you beat yourself up a lot because you have a limited amount of resources, and when you waste them, it's horrible. Because sometimes when everything's just so on the line every day, that can be the difference between going on and stopping. So, but at the same time, if someone else was doing what I was trying to do, it was like there's this lawyer trying to start this underwear manufacturing business and brand that employs former refugees and empowers them and gives them awesome new skills, I'd be like, they're probably going to screw up a lot, and that's going to be okay, because no one's like, there's no degree for that. There's no one who's currently doing this that I could be like, oh, I'll step aside and you can do it better. And like, given that, I think I just have to be more generous to myself. But again, it's so hard when $1,000 either way could actually kill you. So it's hard to be like, oh, you live and you learn. It's hard to keep up that positivity when every dollar is precious.
One of the ways that I'm keeping up the positivity and finding really useful is I do a weekly review, which I share with a friend, and she writes a weekly review and shares it back to me, because I find accountability works. I won't do it if I'm only doing it for myself. And in that review, every week I have to list accomplishments. I have to list what I'm proud of, and I also have to note what I didn't do quite so well. And just seeing the accomplishments every week makes you realise how much further forward you're moving. And yeah, we're not making money, but we're moving forward and achieving a lot, and you don't want to give up on that.
I've got to say, it just reminded me 100 days of blogging. And it was like
I did do that.
That thing in the year, blogged, like, we're not talking a couple of lines here, we're talking a proper significant blog post every day for 100 days. Pretty incredible, huh?
Yeah, and that comes back to when I put myself on the hook, when I commit to something and say publicly that I've committed to it, or commit just to one person, then I will do it. And the thing that got me started on the Good Registry was blogging, and taking the time through blogging to understand what mattered to me. And then I got really busy with the Good Registry and thought, okay, I'll make sure I keep blogging every week. And then it became every month, and then it became every 2 months. And I said, okay, how do I get back onto this? And was listening to a great interview with Seth Godin, and he said everyone should be blogging every day. And I went, wow, there's no way I possibly could. And then went, well, if that's what I think, then I need to try. So I committed to do it for 100 days and learnt so much through doing that, and hated the experience and loved the experience, and at the end thought really carefully about whether it was something that I would continue with, looking at all of the benefits, and thought, no, I've benefited heaps from it, and I'm going to give myself a little bit of freedom back and use that time for something else now. But at the moment I'm back to just about daily blogging, with a much shorter daily bit of insight or wisdom that I pick up, because so often I think, oh, that's a great gem, I just want to write that down, and my blogging just gives me a place to record it and park it, and if no one else reads it, I don't care, but I've captured a little bit of wisdom each day or most days that I want to keep for myself.
Other professional practices that you'd recommend to other people?
I swear by my morning routine, because I think I've naturally got from my mum like a bit of an anxious mind. So starting the day in a really good state is really important to me. So I start the day often with like 20 minutes of trampolining and like having a dance party in my room every morning. It's bloody amazing. It's just like the sweat's real. I'm like ecstatic because I'm like having a dance party on a trampoline and like laughing, and sorry, flatmate. Then meditation, like maybe a bit of like writing or journaling, but like definitely time to like get everything sorted and some fresh air before coming into the day. Yeah.
Elisha?
I have very unhealthy habits, so nothing I say should be copied by anyone.
Oh.
Very insightful. I'm really curious what they are now.
Is it chocolate?
No.
Don't talk about
just,
food. Please don't talk about
Do you
food.
need
I
another
can't do
gin?
food right now.
Your glass is empty.
No, I just, I wake up in the morning and start work immediately, often before I've had breakfast. And I keep on going till about 6 or 7 when I deem that my boyfriend would be grumpy if I didn't come home. And then I go home, So like not very healthy.
2019. What are we looking forward to? Elisha, make money, sell underwear.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious, I guess. No, I'm looking forward to, I've actually just hired 2 IC, so a second in charge to my production manager, to deal with the days that my production manager works part-time. And so I'm going to be basically stepping away from the studio, which is going to be amazing. When, someone that was a bit more conservative might really struggle to sleep at night, but yeah.
Both Christine and Jen, you sleep well at night? Not a leading question, just kind of general.
Mostly, yeah.
For me, the risk is more than offset by the learning and the growth and the joy when you get those moments that make you realise that you're actually doing what you set out to do. But every day it's a risk. And from the moment I left my job, people were shocked that you could take that risk of leaving without something to go to. And then the money that we spent on the website with the initial build, massive risk. But all of it, if I lost all of it, I would still say, yeah, well, that's money I could have spent on an MBA or on a year travelling around the world, and I would have much rather had this.
I have so many friends and family who are still like, what if everything falls apart? You can still go back to law, or you can go back to a full-time job. And even just the thought of going back into an organisation, even part-time, I'm like, ugh, it gives me like tightness in my stomach.
That's the big thing, when you think, okay, do I want to go back? No. And they were good jobs that we left and enjoyable when we were in them. But now that we've got this new thing, it's like, no, I don't want that.
No, like I was working in learning and development and instructional design, like on at least 90,000 a year and then left it to go traveling and then coming back and doing this. And it's, even when there are really challenging days, I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't change it for all the learnings, all the greater understanding about myself and about how different things work, and just like becoming like a massive part of this community. Like, I'm so grateful to the Biz Dojo for like meeting all of you. Well, Elisha, I knew beforehand from law school, and Christine from Mindfulness for Change. But it's, it's an amazing community.
It has been so fantastic to hang out with 3 entrepreneurs. Still quite early stage, just over a year in.
We're all the same place on the journey.
We're all babies, but we're still alive. We haven't fallen down too badly. We've gone back up.
And we will get there.
And we will get there.
It feels a little bit like you've all been suffering some fairly big bruises and scars along the way of the first year, but some really valuable learns with it. So,
100%.
Yeah. I think it also, if you're I think the crux of it is when you're going out and doing something new and different, you have to be critical. You have to constantly be asking, is it worth it? Is it working? Because otherwise you're just delusional and wasting a lot of other people's money. But you also have to balance that with optimism for the future and a real passion and love for what you do. And I think those two things are like, they're opposites. How can you be critical while being optimistic and excited? It's really hard to do, which is why I think our everyday lives are just like total peaks and troughs, because you don't sit in the middle of those two, you swing wildly between them.
Yeah, and there are definitely days where you think any sensible person would think,
not
this is not working, I'm packing up and cutting my losses. And then you realise it really was just bubbling away. And and it is working, and it's good.
Is it true, Christine, you don't get out of bed for less than 25 grand?
Not today, I didn't.
You got a real bargain today from Christine.
Beautiful. Lucky we picked the one day in the year and we managed to knock that one in. So awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, no, great. Look, lovely chatting with the 3 of you. So thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, David. We're all big fans of yours. Amazing.
Must go and do something next year that maybe involves money.
Amazing.
Oh, money's for losers.
Who needs money?
I know.
If you had any asks, Jen, that you're hoping for next year for business?
Farting. Just like brain fart isn't like nothing.
I'm sure there's a lot of actual farting involved with the juice as well.
As long as it's mindful.
Would you like some gin, Jen?
Oh my gosh, I can't.
Do you need some help?
Help me. He also used to be a fitness instructor.
Oh my God, I can just imagine you're at the front of the class. Work off those croissants, ladies.
We'll post photos in the show notes.
If you think I'm sarcastic now, you should have come to some of my old circuit classes.
Oh, really?
Just dry sarcasm. Not rude or inappropriate, just sarcastic. And they loved it.
I've done those classes. They are brutal.
It's not too bad, is it?
It's very good.
Yeah.
I'm into it.
Yeah, sorry for being Jen and not bringing the gin.
Yeah, boring Jen.
Yeah, sorry, I totally messed up.
Oh,
yes.
Jen, it's so good.
Oh
I can't do that week because I'm too busy. Oh, no, I can't do that week because I'm not eating. Oh, no, I can't do that week. What are you going to give up next week, Jen, that you can tell us in public?
Giving a... I have a real aversion to saying it unnecessarily, I think. Yeah.
Do you want to just get all your fucks out now?
Nah. I'm good.
I don't know if there's a reservoir there, I think. I don't think there's like a little cache
she's not
of
saving
fucks
them up.
that she's like trying to get rid of.
So bad.
I think the funny thing is that my life is now like 100% women. I don't really see all of my staff are women.
Oh.
All of the creatives I work with are women. You're a man and that's a novelty, David.
But you just have to hang out at the fruit and veggie markets, apparently.
But saying
Everyone
that
go
I'm
to the
in
fruit and veggie market.
I'm in a very long-term committed relationship, so it doesn't really irk me like it would if I was, looking out for those kind of opportunities.
Guys do
Hey,
still
I'm not
whoop
looking
out
out
of a
for
car
it.
window when I'm running. I'll take that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Do they whistle and honk?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I get that too. Where is that
Yeah, that's
boundary between
flattering.
what's okay?
Kiwi guys doing flattery.
Hey there, sweet cheeks. And it's like, no.
I love that the worst someone said to you was sweet cheeks. That's just so sweet.
No, I've had like way worse.
She couldn't
That's
repeat
good,
the worst,
that's good,
remember?
That's good. I was about to say that's so fitting.
I feel like that's a really dangerous alley to go down.
Yeah, oh, totally. A great word for you,
Yo.
animinimalism.
Yeah.
So the
I
idea
love
is that
that.
you're vegan most of the time, vegetarian for some of the time, and very occasionally a meat eater.
And
I'm
if
an
everyone was
animinimalism.
minimalist, the planet would be fine.
Yeah.
I love that. Okay, I'm a hashtag it's like an anonymous, like a
Animinimalist.
Animinimalist.
No, animal.
Animal minimalist.
Wait, shoot. I missed that one. Animal. Wait.
I missed.
Animal minimalist.
No, wait.
Minimalist.
We could fill a whole show with this.
Minimalist.
Oh, God, I had it, and then
I
you just
know.
took it from me.
I'm sorry, I did a Finding Nemo on you.
Animinimalist.
Are you sure?
Yeah, animinimalist.
Say it 3 times.
Animinimalist.
Anna, minimalist.
Anna, minimalist.
No, oh, God.
Super.